Josh McAnally, and I teach 7th grade science. I'm an assistant coach for the football team, senior high, junior high, and Pee Wee, and then I'm going to be coaching track in the spring. United States Marine Corps. I served from March 15th of 2010 to July 30th of 2014. I was 27 whenever I went in. It was something that I always wanted to do growing up. Well, I always wanted to be in the military, not necessarily the Marine Corps. And I considered doing it fresh out of high school, but some family talked me out of it. And after working several jobs I'd worked in construction and managed restaurants, banking, I never found a place that I really felt like I belonged. And finally, whenever I was 26, decided that I was going to quit listening to everybody else's advice and just do what I wanted to do. I was with Max 1, Det Bravo. That's a Marine Air Traffic Control Squadron. Miramar, out in San Diego. I was a air traffic control communications technician. So I worked on the radio and support equipment to speak with aircraft in a deployed environment. Really, the main thing is the camaraderie, right? Like you really build a family. And take people from just about every ethnic background, religion, people from big cities and the country, and everybody comes together. And you're all working towards one common mission. Like I said, I was 27 when I went in, so being one of the older guys and pretty much everyone younger than you outranking you was different. And then, whenever I went in, I'd been married for a couple years. My daughter turned 5 when I was at boot camp. So the biggest thing was just being away from my daughter, really. I missed several birthdays and things like that in the short time that I was in, so. Well, like I said, I thought about joining whenever I was 18. I didn't. I went to college instead. And when I say I went to college, I went to 3 classes. Never went back. Job hopped. And whenever I went to the Marine Corps, it really helped build the discipline and the commitment that I needed to be able to succeed in bigger things. So I went from, when I was in high school, I think graduated with like 36 people, and I was probably 29 on the list of graduates. And then whenever I was in my C school in the Marine Corps, I was a class leader, had the highest grade in there. Went on to go to UACCB, graduated from there with a 3.9 GPA, and then went on to Lyon College, graduated from there with a 3.9 GPA. So it really just gave me the discipline and perseverance needed to get through things. We talk. Some of them I talk to weekly, some of them monthly. Every now and then you'll hear from somebody that I hadn't talked to in 6, 7 months, but we all still stay in contact. Talk to somebody impartial. Mom and Dad don't want you to go into the military. A lot of people will try and discourage you from it, but if it's something that you really feel like you want to do, you should talk to somebody impartial, not a recruiter, and not necessarily family, but somebody that it's not going to impact one way or the other if you go in, so they can discuss the pros and cons with you, and you can make an informed decision and decide if that's really what's right for you. The Marine Corps leadership traits, core values, and mainly it's the discipline. It's the getting up and doing something you don't want to do, and understanding that the majority of life is how you perceive things. If you look at things in a negative way, it's going to be negative and you're going to have a rough time. If you look at it as something you got to get done, and it's just one step in the way to you succeeding or getting to where you need to be, it's a lot easier to push through everything. Oddly enough, I think it's made me more empathetic in a lot of ways. I know how we were taught whenever I was in the Marine Corps, and I know how much structure can benefit a classroom and things like that, but it also helps me recognize that, you know, it's kids that I'm working with, and, you know, you can't hold them to the same standards that you would, you know, adults or Marines. So the main thing that's done in the classroom is just, maybe from being exposed to all the different backgrounds and everything, is be more empathetic and look at things, try and look at things through the student's eyes, instead of just assuming that I know.